Well, I said I would do a video on Windows Me, so here it is. Now, there isn't really much to go into other than perhaps the fact that, it's not actually as bad as people made it out to be. See, the biggest problem with Windows Me was people were installing it on older computers that weren't designed for it, and then that's when they were getting loads of crashes. But right now, this is running on a machine that was designed for Windows Me, and since I've updated it with the Windows Me updates, which luckily somebody had archived on archive.org, it actually works fine. It's only crashed once since I was using it, although I haven't actually put it on for like nearly a year. It must have been over a year now since I last put this on, because I was just kind of fiddling with it. There was really a lot else to do at the time. Anyway, let's get into the details. This is 512 megabytes of RAM at the moment, and it's running a ATI Radeon 128 Pro, although the computer says it's a Rage Fury Pro Expert 2000, but it's not. It's just, for some reason, the latest driver that I could get for it seems to just give the wrong name, but it is an ATI Radeon Rage 128 Pro. So you can see I've played on MechWarrior 3 on here. I have to, whenever I go on a different computer, I kind of feel the need to play through it again. I've played through it quite a few times now, and because I think that's the ultimate test. Because if that works, because that's such a MechWarrior 3 is very sensitive. If you play it on the wrong hardware, it really doesn't like working. Now, this is also running an Athlon, AMD Athlon. It is the 1 gigahertz processor. the first one that had 1 gigahertz. So that's what this is. Anyway, enough talking. Let's go into some more interesting stuff. So, it is actually this one is actually plugged into the internet right now. And as much as I hate Google, I'll give them credit here. It actually still works on Internet Explorer 5.5, which you can see. This is what this is here. If you search Bill Gates, look, you still get. Surprisingly, all the images still work fine. I mean, I guess Google thinks there's enough people who still use old Internet Explorer versions, so they make sure it works. Try to go on anything else though, dare I say Reddit, that's obviously not going to work. Not that I'd want to go on there anyway. Obviously YouTube isn't going to work. But any old websites will obviously still work. So a good example would be Falconfly, the 3DFX, should be down here, 3DFX archive. This is a really useful site for getting old versions of like DirectX. It's mainly for like Voodoo cards, but they do actually have like every version of DirectX, which is really useful. Even if you're not using a Voodoo card, this is really useful if you're doing like old computing stuff. And whoever made this site has nicely laid out in a table which versions are supported by. Which versions of Windows are supported by which versions of DirectX. You can see here as it goes down, something interesting is when Microsoft got to like DirectX 9C, they then didn't increment it. Instead, they just they just kept saying using the same version, but still with an updated uh, DirectX. So you have to get it from a specific date for certain things, because you can see that like the second version of DirectX 9C stopped working, stopped supporting Windows 98, but they all still supported 98 second edition until you can see 2007. They dropped support for that, but still supported Windows Me just until the last version. Then they stopped Windows Me, and then that was the end of the 9X support completely. And obviously after that, that's when they went to Windows 10. Yeah, it's quite interesting. Another bit of old internet history I found. Actually, before that, I'll show you. You know the Space Jam website, if anyone's wondering. This would have worked, but they changed it because of the new Space Jam movie. I'm not actually into Space Jam, but it's just an example. Because they moved it, for some reason it broke it. See, really, this should be displaying, but I think they put a load of JavaScript on it. So even if I try and force it, it won't work. Yeah. It's just, actually, let me put... Yeah, no, that's not going to work. I think they put a bit of JavaScript in there, and that's why it's not working. I'll tell you what, I found a really old site related to MechWarrior 3. Parrots Fusel it is. I found this, I stumbled upon it when I was looking for the 1.1 version, the 1.1 patch. I mean, this is really old. I think it hasn't been updated since 2000. If we go in, I think it's required files. See, this is where I was looking. You've got the MIDI files playing as well. See, that's something you could do, like automatic music. I mean, you can see like lots of files were added in 2000. That seems to be the latest one. That's just that's a preview for MechWarrior 4. Yeah, this basically hasn't been updated for like nearly. What's the last one? What? 31st of March. I hate American dates. Why is the month before the date? Okay, let's not go there. The fact is that now, according to this website, it was last updated 24 years ago today, because today is the 31st. Yeah, you think people used to make entire websites just for this kind of stuff? Like, people just don't do that anymore. I mean, the MechWarrior 4 preview might have been added a bit later, but I mean, it came out in November 2000 anyway. yeah. There's not really anything else to show on as far as the internet's concerned, but I will show you some like cool stuff. Like, this is the kind of stuff I miss. You know, you still had your themes in Windows Me, and actually, like, after using that, even though Windows 98 is my favourite, like I think this is it. You know, this is still quite nice. You know, one of the biggest problems was DOS was disabled by default, but you know, it is a lot. It is faster than 98. What am I doing? Yeah. Why did I click off that? What was I going to look at? Oh yeah, the screensavers. Windows Millennium. That's a nice thing there. You still got all the classic screensavers on here, like flower box, flying objects. It's so nice that you could actually customize. They made, you know, so even the screensavers could be customized. And that was the thing with Windows, you could really personalize it. It really was my computer back then. Unlike now, where it's this PC, what a load of crap. Dangerous creatures. Dunno. Still got your 3D maze. The 60s. Is that all? Is it not animated? Okay, you kind of get the gist. It's not really a screensaver, is it? The whole idea is, I don't know. And yeah, this Windows Media Player, that was no, not Windows Media Player, the Windows Movie Maker, that was new on Windows Me. You probably already, well, if you've looked into this, you'll already know that, but yeah, this, if you didn't, Windows Me was the first version to have a movie maker. Well, you know, they don't even include that now on Windows 10, Windows 11. Anyway, I think this video is probably dragging on a bit. I'll just say this is into video. That was just on the installation disc that was sent with the computer, and you can see. I'll go on here. See. This was actually made by Fujitsu. I don't think they really make computers anymore, at least not PCs. Yeah, that's it really for this video. I said I would do it, so here it is. But unfortunately, there wasn't really that much to talk about. But might be a nice bit of nostalgia for some people, you know. I don't really like using that word though, nostalgia, because, you know, it implies that when you say, oh, it's just nostalgia, but it's not, like, you know, things really were better, but in their own way. And as you can see, you can do a lot of stuff on these. Although it may look more basic, there was a lot more freedom. That's something we lack now. Yeah, I think I'm going to end the video there before this drags on too much. So, thanks for watching. I if you thought this was interesting. Just gonna shut down. There's not actually any shutdown sound by default. Yeah, that's off.